Well, I'm out here on the neighborhood trail, and this week I wanted to talk to you about another step on this journey of being less fat. And it is a journey, which is not going to always go the way that you wanted it to, because the journey is not a physical journey, it's a mental journey. This is year 2, week 9. So yeah, this journey of being less fat is a mental journey. It's not a physical journey. And that might sound a little counterintuitive, but the physical aspect, the health, the weight loss, that is a manifestation of the mental journey. That destination, that where we're going, that change, that is the journey. The mental is the journey. The journey is in the mind. All the physical stuff, that's the manifestation of the change. And I'm probably going to talk about here the challenges of this mental journey, because it's been a little frustrating and challenging for me these last few weeks, and using the week 1 mindful exercise, I now know the 2 main behaviors, situations that really affect my success in this mental journey of being less fat. So one of the behaviors, or one of the situations that leads to my behavior, or I choose this behavior, is when I'm just bored. And that's something that, being mindful of it, it's kind of been all my life, that if I'm bored, which is a self-inflicted wound, by the way, boredom, then one of the things that I do is I choose then to eat, just to give me something to do. And it really is fairly destructive in my health, my well-being, and everything else. So I've really become more mindful now of when I'm bored and I just need to do something other than eat, which is typically where I just remove myself from the presence of food as best I can, because I'm still working on it, that if there's food around, there's a good chance I'm probably just going to shovel it in my mouth. So the first situation that really I choose a behavior in the situation is when I am bored. The other situation that I get into, where it's not even where I overeat, it's actually where I just overconsume calories. And that situation is just social situations, having a good time. As you can kind of tell from my YouTube channel, I'm an extrovert. I like to be the center of attention, be the life of the party, put smiles on people's faces. If just my presence can put a smile on somebody's face, then I feel like I've done my job in the world. But yeah, when I get into those types of situations, just social, then I tend to actually just overconsume calories. And I'm saying overconsume calories is because it's not just food, especially socially. It's also booze, liquor, hooch, yeah, the shine, whatever you want to call it. I just, for whatever reason, if it's almost 49 years of behavior, I don't really know, but it's just that I've become more mindful that in those situations, those social situations, I just consume more. But I'm mindful of it. But it's still a behavior that I've got to work on, because over the last few weeks, I just haven't been doing really that good. And it's not like I'm unhealthy or I'm fat again or anything like that. I can just tell, and I'm very mindful that it's not this journey, this mental journey of where I want to go. It's a lot of the past behavior, and basically just doesn't make me feel good mentally. Physically, I feel good, but I really haven't moved more a lot. I haven't really been consuming less. It's still been still more nutritious, except for the booze. But yeah, these last few weeks haven't been on the path of the journey that I've taken over these last almost 60 weeks or so since I started my YouTube channel. So yeah, it's definitely a mental journey. So what have I started to do in these two situations where I seem to just consume more? And again, it's when I'm bored or when I'm out, socially. Well, one of the things that I think is actually just the hardest part is you just gotta stop. That's actually the hard part, right? Is if I'm bored, stop eating, stop choosing to consume, and instead go do something else, whether that's hashtag move more, or if it's getting on the treadmill, or if it's playing a video game or whatever. But just stop consuming, stop shoveling food in my mouth when I'm bored. And then the second situation of the social, events, that's probably even harder. Not just because of the whole stop. And by the way, when I talk about stop, if you look in psychology, it's called extinction, when you actually just try to extinct a behavior, because there is some type of reinforcement that I'm giving myself when I'm eating. And so just extincting or stopping that behavior is very difficult, especially in the social environment. But what I need to do is focus on doing more also socially. So being the center of attention, or telling more stories, or if it needs to happen, just getting out of there. So it's difficult, this mental journey of being less fat, which most people look at it as a physical journey, but it's not. It's a mental journey of being less fat. And on this journey, there are difficulties, because we're talking about ourselves and our practice behavior for our whole lives. And I want to change that behavior for the rest of my life until my end of days. So remember, be your own hero. Thumbs up because you are amazing. Subscribe and chime that bell to get notified. I am your favorite YouTuber's favorite uncle. I am Uncle Mike.